Travis Kelce stormed into the Highmark Stadium locker room, his frustration clear on his face, refusing to say a word to anyone around him after the Kansas City Chiefs' bitter defeat by the Buffalo Bills. The atmosphere in the locker room was heavy, with concern etched onto every teammate's face as medical staff hurried to assess the damage to Kelce's right arm. Trainers applied ice to his elbow, and though pain was evident, Kelce forced a faint grin when asked about his status, quietly insisting, "I'll be all right. Taylor's watching. She shouldn't worry about me." Despite the throbbing pain and almost no mobility in his right arm, Kelce adamantly refused a wheelchair, insisting on making his own way to the waiting medical vehicle, jaw set with determination, as a team official explained. The Chiefs made the difficult choice to sideline him for the remainder of the game, sparking concern among fans and teammates alike. Patrick Mahomes, in a brief and somber post-game statement, expressed the team's collective anxiety, saying, "Travis is the soul of our squad. Seeing him go down, I immediately thought about Taylor being in the crowd. I know she must be worried sick." As news of Kelce's injury spread through the stadium, Taylor Swift, who had been in the VIP section surrounded by friends and security, was seen quickly leaving her seat, a scarf wrapped tightly around her neck, her eyes glistening with fresh tears. She moved silently and swiftly toward the dugout where the Chiefs' ambulance was stationed, her only words to a passing security guard being a hushed, "Is he okay?" Witnesses described the scene as eerily quiet, the entire corridor giving way for Swift as she made her way to check on Kelce, her concern palpable and unspoken. Social media lit up almost instantly, with Chiefs fans and Swifties alike sharing images of Taylor's tear-streaked face, sending messages of support and prayers for Kelce's recovery. The juxtaposition of a pop superstar, known for penning heartbreak anthems, now openly weeping over her own pain, resonated deeply with millions, turning a celebrity love story into something raw and achingly real. Within hours, TikTok was flooded with viral clips of Taylor wiping away tears, some videos rapidly surpassing 25 million views. Fans assembled emotional montages of Taylor and Kelce's most memorable moments from the season, dubbing their partnership the romance that moved the NFL. Headlines across the nation picked up the story, with mainstream outlets dedicating full columns to the vulnerability and humanity on display. USA Today remarked that Taylor was far more than a high-profile fan. She was a living testament to the intersection of music and sports, where genuine love could transcend stadium lights and camera flashes. The next day, as speculation swirled, a spokesperson for the Kansas City Chiefs delivered a much-needed update. Kelce's injury, thankfully, was less severe than initially feared. Medical scans in Kansas City would provide further details, but early indications suggested only a minor issue with his right elbow. The collective sigh of relief from fans was almost audible online. Taylor, sources revealed, had immediately reached out to the Chiefs' medical team for updates, even postponing an important recording session in Nashville to accompany Kelce back to Kansas City, prioritizing his recovery above all else. A close friend later confided to Entertainment Tonight that Taylor, usually composed and resilient, was deeply shaken by the incident, having witnessed Kelce endure plenty of hard hits before, but never seeing him in such visible pain. For Taylor, who had often told Kelce he was the toughest person she'd ever known, seeing him collapse on the turf was a haunting moment that cut straight to her core. Her tears signified not just worry, but a fierce, enduring love that bridged the gap between her world of music and his world of football. Behind closed doors, as the medical team evaluated Kelce's condition, optimism quietly grew. If MRI results confirmed the initial diagnosis, Kelce might return to practice within 2 weeks, keeping alive hopes that he'd be back for the next pivotal matchup. Meanwhile, Taylor's social media exploded with millions of supportive comments, fans joking that if Kelce had to take a brief break from football, it would give him extra time to collaborate on music with her. Rumors swirled that Taylor was planning a small get-together at her Manhattan apartment to celebrate his recovery. Her only wish, friends said, was for him to heal, nothing more. That night, as the city lights of Kansas City flickered, the world watched a story unfold that would be remembered for much more than a final score. The Chiefs' clash with the Bills had begun with anticipation and high hopes, both squads entering the field with their sights set on victory. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes led the Chiefs' offense, renowned for its fast-paced, high-scoring plays, and early in the second quarter, the team clung to a slim 10-7 lead. Yet, an odd pattern emerged. While wideouts Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy accounted for every one of Mahomes' first 50 passing yards, Travis Kelce, a perennial All-Pro and central figure in the offense, hadn't even been targeted across the opening 3 drives. It was almost unheard of for Kelce to be so absent from the action, considering his usual status as Mahomes' go-to receiver, capable of racking up catches and yardage with ease. Fans and analysts alike puzzled over his lack of involvement, wondering what was happening behind the scenes. But those who knew Kelce's game understood his ability to adapt and make an impact at any time. With Rice and Worthy stretching Buffalo's defense deep, opportunities would inevitably arise underneath for Kelce to exploit, an offensive strategy perfected over years of Mahomes-Kelce chemistry. Coming into the season, Kelce looked rejuvenated, his recent performances reflecting a renewed determination. Over the last 5 games, he'd topped 48 receiving yards each time, peaking just a week prior with a 99-yard, 1-touchdown outing. Even in his 13th NFL season, Kelce's sharpness and connection with Mahomes hadn't wavered. Though quiet against the Bills, his 474 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns on the year stood as proof of his ongoing influence. As the matchup wore on, the tension mounted, with everyone awaiting the moment Kelce would inevitably reassert himself and shift the game's momentum. But fate had other plans, and his injury changed the game's rhythm completely. The injury itself was a jarring sight for all who watched. Kelce, after a promising start to the season and a string of consecutive strong performances, now faced an uncertain timeline on the sidelines. As Taylor left the stands, the stadium seemed to hold its breath. Her quiet, urgent steps toward the medical area became a symbol of how 2 worlds, sports and music, athlete and artist, could intertwine so deeply that the pain of one became the heartbreak of another. The moment Taylor wept for Kelce, her vulnerability bared to the world, became a defining image. An icon moved to tears not by lyrics or melodies, but by the raw reality of love and fear for someone she cherished. Online, the response was immediate and overwhelming. Support poured in from every corner, from Chiefs fans and football enthusiasts to die-hard Swifties, all united by the hope that Kelce's pain would be short-lived and his return swift. The phrase, "It's not just a celebrity romance, it's real," echoed across countless fan posts, and TikTok edits of Taylor's emotional reaction spread like wildfire. If you're enjoying these inside stories, make sure to subscribe for more updates on your favorite athletes and celebrities. Even major news outlets paused their usual game recaps to focus on the human side of the night. "Taylor Swift isn't just watching, she's living the highs and lows with the team," one column read, while another called it a moment of truth for both the Chiefs and for Swift, who had become an unexpected fixture at NFL games. As the days passed and Kelce's prognosis improved, optimism returned. The Chiefs' medical staff, after further scans, projected a likely 2-week recovery, meaning Kelce could be back in action for the next key fixture. Taylor's unwavering support became a central focus of media stories, with insiders revealing she was by his side through every step of the recovery process, even canceling personal commitments to ensure she could travel with him and offer comfort.